And now that that's over with, we can exit this side of the temple and move on to the next one. But one of the most helpful things about this, you can Clawshot the helmets off the Helmosaurs, and that leaves their bodies completely exposed. Wonderful. Makes those guys a lot easier to deal with, because without that Clawshot, they're fairly annoying. But that does it for everything we can do in this room, so let's just ride this thing around. Yeah, that's the way we entered the mid-boss. But once again, do not forget that bridge over there. We will need to come back to this area later, but we can't go over there quite yet. That's one of the last things we'll do, I think, before we head off to the boss. But now that we have the Clawshot, we can actually grab these vines from a distance. I completely forgot we can do that. And if you remember, in areas like the Forest Temple, where we had to use the monkeys to cross the gaps, there were vines. This is how you get back to those areas without the monkeys. So if you forgot anything in the Forest Temple, you can go back and get it now. There was one treasure chest at the very end of the Goron Mines that we can also get. It was in the room, the really large room with all the archers. I'll explain that later. We now have water flowing into the main room from the East Tower. And now that we have water flowing in here, we can get to that little island in the middle. However, we can't get there from here directly. But now that we have the Clawshot, we can cross over these areas just by latching onto the vines on the top. Makes navigating this area a hell of a lot easier. And these stupid things. These are piranhas! They will bite you. They hurt. But you can see on this level is not only a treasure chest with 20 rupees, but I believe above us is the boss door. And a Tektite. How nice of you to be here to meet me, Tektite. But yeah, those things, if I can not toggle them, you'll see these in a couple of areas in the dungeon. I can't think of an easy way to kill them. I wonder if you can just use the Clawshot, but it'd be kind of silly to kill these things. They're just really annoying to deal with, so if you can stay out of the water where they are, probably your best bet. So let's just climb our way back up and make our way. I suppose we'll be going to the west side. I just pull whatever switches tickle my fancy at this point. Although I'm pretty sure I know what we should be doing next. What I'm looking for is above the staircase, the chandelier up here. You'll find a couple of Clawshot targets. And on the chandelier in the middle of the main room, our first piece of heart of the dungeon. I also love this area up here. It's not very safe, but it just looks really neat, and no matter where you jump in this room, Link just decides to dive in like it's water. He probably hurts himself when he tries doing that. But now we remember we have water flowing through here, so what we can do is bring the staircase over here with this Clawshot target, and once we do that, we'll have water flowing down the staircase and into the bottom of the West Tower. Now, if you recall, the first time we came through here, there was a water wheel in the way that wasn't moving. But now that there's water flowing down here, it will be moving, and we can get through. So now we can access the West Tower. Since the water's flowing through here, I mean, unlike the other side, there's no floor here, so the water's not really powering much of anything. However, there is still stuff we can do in here. Just want to make sure you take care of the keys before you move too far along, otherwise things are going to get pretty hairy for you. Let's see, is there a Clawshot target above there? Also, something you can do with the Clawshot is lower yourself down. So if you're not sure if you're going to land on a piece of land or something, just check to make sure you are. And you can also use it to kill enemies. But it does take longer to reach them than the bow. What I wish I could do is combine this bomb bag with this bomb bag, so I would have 60 and then more room for all these water bombs, but 30 is more than enough. Hello, buddy. So let's look for some vines to grab onto. I'd like to grab onto them as far along the side as possible, so I don't risk falling off too much. and so I don't have to climb for too long. There we go. Pretty sure we're above solid ground here. And we'll look for more things to latch onto with our Clawshot up there. I love this analog stick so much. I think I've gotten over my overexcitedness over being able to use this now, though. Is there something we can do over here? Never really paid attention. I do see a treasure. I usually miss this, I guess. Nothing more than money, though. We have cashed in just about all the golden bucks we can, so I suppose having money isn't exactly a bad thing. But like I've said, it isn't really worth it to go out of your way for rupees. Especially if you're going to be collecting all the golden bugs, because you'll have all the money you need. But, just to satisfy my own curiosity, I like to get everything. Not that I'll make too much of an issue over things that I don't have. Whenever you see water geysers, usually an indication to use bomb arrows. So let's just have a look. Yep, stalactite. I think that's the way out, though. That's not the way forward. And one of you guys again! You guys aren't an epic enemy for me to kill. Yeah, it does look like that's the way forward, because I don't see any way to get around through there without the water flowing. I get confused, because I mean, the way the West Tower's oriented is the opposite of the East Tower, so I think I'm heading out when I'm actually heading in. And I'm pretty sure there's a Clawshot target where I'm supposed to go up there. I just want to get the Tektites out of the way so I can concentrate on hitting it. Nope, heart first. So let's get up there. And now we can get into the West Tower. However, now that we have the Clawshot, we can just pull these guys out of their bubbles. So instead of wasting bomb arrows on them. It looks like they take less hits that way, too, but I never remember that being the case. And I believe there are vines up there. Since we can't unlock the door, we have to use the vines to get over. And that'll bring us in here, and if I remember correctly, there are piranhas, so I don't want to stay in here too long. Pretty sure they're right by the foot of that tower, so if you miss the jump when you're trying to pull the lever, they're gonna hurt you. I also believe there are some stalactites we need to shoot down or something, if I remember. Which I probably don't. Can we reach the Clawshot target from here, though? Yes, we can. I'd just like to get the Helmosaurus out of the way, I guess. Yeah, let's do this the holistic way and make sure everything is dealt with before we head up there. Yeah, water geyser over here. Which you will hit if you're not paying attention. Just like on Death Mountain. And another Helmosaur. Hi, buddy. I also like how you auto-shield for some of these enemies. I mean, I'm not trying to shield. I'm not pressing the R button to shield, but I am shielding off these guys. Maybe that makes this game a little bit too easy. I don't know. How often do you guys use the shield? I mean, you've seen me play through, what, this is the third Zelda game already, and I never use the shield. I have to consciously think to myself, hey, shield, use the shield! I never do that, though. And whenever you hear that music, last enemy of the room. And I never noticed. You see Zora's sapphire, the necklace Link is wearing on the Zora armor? That I didn't see before either. All these little details I'm realizing are here. But before we pull down the water, I would like to check out this treasure. And if you haven't guessed, you have to do that at the very top of the East Tower to get the treasure up there as well. However, ascending that tower is fairly annoying because the water is already flowing down it. I guess I will try to ascend that tower to get the rupees for it, but definitely not in full speed. It's boring to watch. Probably one of the last things I do before we go. But just like the other tower, there is a switch over here that we have to pull down, and that'll get water moving through this tower. However, unlike the last one, we don't have to ride it all the way down because there is a little gap that we can just fall through, and that'll take us to the first level of the slide. So there we go, and from here, we can get to this switch. Pull that down, and now we have water flowing through the west tower. Is there anything else worth exploring, though? I'm pretty sure that's it. I will check to make sure there's nothing else here. There are the piranhas. Hi, buddies. I knew you were there. What are these for? Can we lift these? Is this the only place in the game we see these? I suppose you're supposed to, like, put one of these down above the water spout, and that will not make it go or something? No? I wonder what those are for. I will figure this out. What are those boxes for? Can you roll into them? No. You can't break them. Can you bomb them? Surely it can't survive a bomb explosion. Nope. And they're empty. Maybe you're supposed to use them to block this up? Do you have to do it from higher up? No, it's clearly not allowing me to do that. I don't know. How about... does it float, maybe? It's phasing into the rock. Does it float? I guess it does float. Can you swim with it? Can you walk on it? The piranhas are eating the box! Look at that! They're eating away at the box! That's funky. Maybe they wanted you to jump from that box over to the platform so you don't get eaten by the piranhas. Seems kind of silly. I don't know why they would do that. Why they wouldn't just make a boat or something. Oh well, which way did we come in? We came in this way. You can see the blue arrow. So let's go out the opposite way. And I'm going to want my iron boots on. So let's pull those out. Because down here we have some water. And I believe some more shell blades. Yep. Nice to use the Clawshot in here too. Doesn't always work on them though, for whatever reason. Let's see if we can attack a Barry though. Up there, the jellyfish looking things. If you pull out the nucleus, you can just swipe away at that. Or that instantly does it, and I always thought you had to swipe at it with your sword, but apparently that was enough. And more money. Let's kill the other one just for completeness sake. What you don't want to do is use the Clawshot while it's using its electricity. And I guess that's the only time you can lock onto it. I suppose that's kind of funny. Where did I pick that up from? I guess the Barry died. Oh well. Let's just make our way out of here. And now that we have the water flowing, this water wheel is moving, and we can progress. Hooray! Who's going to come down and attack me from here? Because I know somebody wants to attack me. Anybody? Last chance? Okay. Nobody's here to greet us. How about here? Now that we have the West Tower water flowing, those platforms are moving. That's probably the last section that we have to go through. But first, we have more Lizalfos. Every time. So we can move around here. Any place we have not explored here yet, we can just get back where we came from. And there's a Lizalfos blocking the way! I also love the earrings they have. This is a meme. So let's make our way out of here, unless we can jump down to a platform below us. I don't think that's safe. Maybe we can latch onto the vines? I've never tried. I suppose it's worth a shot. See if we can get really close to the edge. This is probably not worth it. I just want to see if we can do it. Yeah, they're too far below us. We can't reach those from here. How about from somewhere like over here, perhaps? I don't want to have to go through the main room if at all possible. Just for the sake of being able to avoid it. I don't like navigating that main room. Too far away. See the keys down there. Suppose we can latch onto this and see if we can work our way down the same way we worked our way up. But I don't think we can do that either. We'll figure it out, and if we don't, I'll just die and respawn. There we go. So now that we're essentially on an upside-down merry-go-round, making our way around. Can't go back that way, because if we try, we'll die. So let's just wait for this to circle around. I like to lower myself down so I can see when I'm over land, or over something that I can actually fall on, but I see one over there. And we'll probably be crossing over to the other wheel at some point, so I want to be as close to that wheel as possible before we fall down. Let's just make sure the keys are out of the way. Come on, keys. There we go. And now, if we can find another one of these circling around on that wheel, we can latch onto that and wait for it to take us around. Now, for the most part, the keys won't attack you while you're on this thing, at least in my experience. But I suppose they can still hurt you. It's nice that this little cutout down here is extended further so you can get here without the ceiling getting in the way. I suppose the keys does attack you. That's not very nice.